Hello, this is Casual Player, coming with gameplay of Sunset Overdrive, which is exclusive to the Xbox One. This game is much like Infamous Second Son, which is exclusive to the PS4, which I have played and enjoyed very much. This is also like Saints Row 3 and 4, I would say. I played 3 and I played 4, and I would say it's relative to those games in humor and the guns, but besides that, not as much. A brief summary of this story is an energy drink gets released by a company and everyone starts drinking it, and it contaminates the city, making everyone into mutants. While this story is very generic, they work their way into becoming a fun game, while ripping on other games and poking fun on a lot of stuff, making remarks about video games themselves, Breaking Bad, and much more. It is a blast of an experience. The weapons in this game are a variety. They are ridiculous and funny, and much like Saints Row games, with guns like the AKFU, Murderang, Dirty Harry, the Hangover, High Fidelity, Flaming Compensator, and many more funny ones. The world throughout this game, as I explored, I started liking it more and more. It's open world, there's lustrous colors throughout. There's a big world, I would like to say, kind of. The things you can do are, there's a lot of collectibles to do, a lot of like fun little stuff to find, a lot of side missions. There's a chaos mode where you could play with up to 8 friends, I believe, and you fight against waves and waves of OD or mutants. The graphics for this game, I would say, are pretty good. It's nice to explore. The people don't look too great, but it's not really what you're playing it for. It's more the world, and that looks really nice itself. But the biggest part about this game is the transportation, I would say, and that's what makes it different from other games. And what I mean by this is when I'm in combat, and I'm not doing it here at the moment, you should be like gliding across the rails and on the buildings and stuff, making it much more harder for them to be able to reach you and attack you. And that's what makes this different than other games. And it's a lot nicer to go up there, and it's a lot easier to kill them. But the only negative I would have throughout this game is the missions get really repetitive. And what I mean by this is you're on a constant hunt for supplies and to go save people on missions. And it kind of just feels like you're doing the same thing over and over again at one point. And that kind of gets really boring for me. But everything else kind of evens out. So with great guns, the open world, gameplay, great graphics and all, but also the repetitive missions, I would give Sunset Overdrive an 8.5 out of 10. Pros being the gameplay and quirkiness, but the cons being it gets repetitive. And this right here is one of the boss fights. There's many boss fights throughout the game, and you'll see some of the climbing and the transportation used right here. And really, they do a lot of good jobs with the boss fights. And I would just like to thank you for watching, and talk to you next video.
Doesn't matter what you